In the last episode of the Valencia Career Mode, we were eliminated by Lech Poznan in the Europa League qualifier. We did, however, start investing more funds into the team from the Guedes transfer, bringing in another Portuguese winger in Pedro Gonçalves. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Flick here. Welcome back to another episode of our FIFA 21 Valencia Career Mode. This is episode number 8 and the conclusion to Season 4. The beginning of the year saw a mixed run of form, a slow start in the Europa League as we were knocked out in the qualifying round to Lech Poznan. If you were curious, they finished dead last in their group, but we did manage to turn things around in La Liga as we currently sit third place in the league, only 2 points behind top of the table Barcelona. But we are in a bit of a predicament with our starting 11. Two players that I would regularly field, that being Rakic and Roca, are both suffering the same injury, a broken toe injury. Rakic is going to be out for another month, Roca for 2 months. Fortunately, we do have some decent players available on the bench. Of course, Lee is someone that has played a pretty big role in this Valencia Career Mode so far. Hasn't been in the best form lately with the inconsistency, but for now we can start him at left center mid, and then Acosta can start at center defensive mid. We can just switch up the positioning so that Lee is indeed a center attacking mid, so he gets that sharpness boost. But I think the area of focus for today's episode, as far as transfers are concerned, is going to be the right back position. You might recall that we do need to sign up a crucial defender this season so that we can fulfill that board objective. And although Carrillo has all the right stats to be great in game, his overall rating isn't really up to par with the rest of the players in our starting 11. The defending just hasn't gone up as I anticipated. As always, I want to say thanks for the support on this series. Initially, I was discouraged when we were knocked out of Europa League again, but I think it is good that we have a more challenging save here with Valencia compared to some of our other career modes in FIFA 21. And the way I see it, when we finally experience that breakthrough with this Valencia team, it's going to be worth the wait, and hopefully we can lift some silverware before the end of this series. Speaking of which, I've been seeing a little bit of talk in the comment section asking what the next series is going to be. Initially, I had planned on moving over to France for our next career mode, but there's also a lot of interest in Serie A. I think if we do a Serie A career mode this year, we might have to accept one of the job offers halfway through a save. So maybe we could join up a team like Atalanta or Napoli in season 5, season 6, because I see Valencia lasting another season or two. If you want to help support the series, leave a like on the video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, consider doing so. It's the best way to stay up to date when these episodes go live. Our transfer budget has never really been an issue in this save, roughly 280 million to work with. With that said, we do have a financial board objective of finishing the season with a profit margin of 300 million. We're about 90% of the way there, so I need to keep that in mind as we make some of these deals in January. Whatever we spend, we probably want to bring in as well for transfers. And I've been looking over the comments to see who would be the best right back to bring in. João Concello, a former Valencia player. Of course, he starts FIFA 21 at Manchester City. However, he has made the move to Atletico Madrid because they are challenging for the La Liga title along with us. I don't see that move being realistic. Gonzalo Montiel, I like this transfer because he initially starts outside the top 5 leagues. Manchester City have picked him up though, as they seem to sign all the players we're interested in. So we had to do a compromise of sorts and look to sign here Troida from Feyenoord, who are having a slightly off-form season as they currently sit 4th in the Eredivisie. I've used this player a little bit in FIFA 21, and although he doesn't have the same ratings as a Montiel or Concello, he's still an upgrade for us at 81 overall. The transfer sum wasn't all that bad either, paying 40 million for a player whose valuation is 34.5 mil, agreeing to a crucial squad role to a 5-year deal, 50 grand a week for his wages, and a release clause set to 82.9 million. That'll also allow us to check off half of our brand exposure objectives from the board, and a big boost to our manager rating as we're no longer in the red. But recapping some of the transfers, the main one being Correa, heading to the Premier League as he'll be joining Brighton. This is probably the right move in his career, both for Correa and for Brighton, as they are struggling in the Premier League, and maybe this addition will help them out. We did have a couple of other permanent transfers going down. Navarro joining Hent for 2.65 million, as well as Sainz joining Ajax for roughly 9 million. Other than that, just a couple of loan deals. Turning our attention to youth scouting as we set up a usual scouting network in Spain for 6 months, looking for any type of player. Serbia for 6 months, looking for a physically strong player to hopefully bring in someone that has a similar build to Rakic. And finally, Algeria for 6 months, looking for a winger. This might be the first time that we sent a youth scout to Africa in this save, as Valencia do have a history of signing players from Algeria. Sofiane Feghouli comes to mind, and hopefully we can get some good talent here. Just a couple of dev plan changes as we give Acosta the ball winning midfielder dev plan to give him high work rates. Once that is complete, I'll probably switch him back to box for the dev plan, as we also give Rojas the Bombardier dev plan. This is one of my favorite ones in FIFA 21. I waited to do so that he can have really balanced statistics as a false 9. But now that I feel comfortable making the change, we're going to fine tune some of the pace and shooting stats. Initially, I planned on highlighting the Copa de España again for this episode, just like we did last season. We saw a 4-0 win in the round of 32 against Leganés, but unfortunately in the round of 16, Sevilla defeated us, meaning that we've been knocked out again in that competition. So on the 27th of January, we're going to pick up the recording against Athletic Club Bilbao. And this is the team that'll try to challenge for the La Liga title. Rakic finally back into the first team despite having very little sharpness. We're going to incorporate him back into the side as he recovers from his injury. The grueling schedule that January in La Liga offers seems to be taking its toll on Bilbao as well. A lot of their players are not at full fitness. I would say it'll take about 2 weeks until Rakic is back up at his full sharpness, so hopefully we can pick up some good results in that time. While we're at it though, we need to have some other players in our starting 11 step up, score some goals because we won't be at full strength defensively. Nearly starting off the highlights with a goal from Rojas, the rising effort going just over the crossbar. Unfortunately, we do pick up an injury in that time. Soler will need to be taken off, and instead Acosta being brought on. This is just a day-to-day injury, but the big takeaway is that we won't have him for most of this match. With that said, we have been working on Acosta's development plans to turn him into a box-to-box center midfielder, and hopefully he can contribute to the first team as he gets a good amount of minutes. But starting with a counter-attack from the back, it's Jaume setting up Alvarez over to Lee, spotting out the run from Gonçalves on the left-hand side. He's adjusted to this Valencia team very quickly, and he likes to drift centrally. Same thing with Rojas as he gets this on his left foot. It's an easy finesse shot to the bottom left-hand corner. As we jump forward to the second half, it's Gaia who has turned into more of an attacking fullback in this fourth season, getting all the way to the byline and eventually finding the cross to Rojas, unfortunately blocked by Bilbao, one of the best defensive teams in all of La Liga. But that's not going to stop Gonçalves. Very similar approach, but he does get taken out by one of their defenders. That'll force a penalty kick. Because Soler is sitting out due to injury, Gonçalves will also take the penalty kick, slotting it to the right and giving us the 2-0 lead. That's another goal to his La Liga tally as he tries to contribute more to this team than Guedes was able to do in 4 seasons. Now that we're safely at a 2-0 advantage, this is where the highlights are going to up their tempo. A good takeaway in the midfield as Rojas spots out all the green space in front of him. He's going to go with the cheeky effort to the far post. You guys know I love a chip shot, and Rojas can do it as well as any other player I've used in career mode this FIFA. In order to make this work consistently, the goalkeeper needs to be off his line. That's just a matter of practicing. Do it enough times and it'll be as routine of a finish as a simple finesse shot. Bilbao trying to work something out inside of their own half, but it's Acosta who does actually win back possession, setting up Rojas. A nice fake shot to get this one on his left foot, and the near post effort will give us a 4-0 lead. I mentioned how I wanted to score goals with our back line and midfield recovering from injuries, and it seems like we've been able to do that. In the 88th minute, I'm just trying to see out this result, hopefully hang on to a clean sheet. But when the R8 opportunity does arise and Musa is through one-on-one with the goalkeeper, why not try to add a fifth? We're going to do just that. The far post power shot working out for us as Musa builds upon his incredible 4th season with Valencia. The time that he spent out on loan seems to have done him justice, both in terms of his confidence and also his overall rating. But it's Rojas who will be the star of this match, picking up the match ball and starting off the episode with 3 points. We've still got a lot of the La Liga season ahead, but this fixture against Atletico Madrid may be one of our biggest matches this season. I almost wish we could have played them later on in our campaign, only on the 10th of February, but a win would put us level on points, potentially also putting us top of the table if we can win by 2 or more goals. This also marked our 150th game in charge. Of course, we haven't played every single one of those matches, but another cool storyline to add to the save as João Felix and Jovic walk out onto the pitch here at Valencia. We'll see if 2 of La Liga's top scorers can net some goals or if our defense can stay intact. Fortunately, we've got Soler back into the starting 11, and he will start off the highlights with a good through ball to Musa, waiting for the run from Rojas. We timed that to perfection, but you guys know this Atletico Madrid back line is going to be tough to beat. Not only their defenders, but also one of the best goalkeepers in La Liga and all of the world, Jan Oblak. He's going to make a save here on his near post as the frustration starts to build. But thanks to some of the advice that I've picked up from our live streams that we do on YouTube, I've been trying a new corner kick tactic. Apparently, it's way more effective for you to switch to receiver. Rakic will open up the scoring in the 25th minute. Typically, I'll only score 1 corner kick goal all season, maybe 2 at best. But here's hoping the number of goals that we score from set pieces only goes up now. Not a whole bunch of highlights though, as we're already in the second half. A good job by Lee to bring this effort down. Now Rojas spotting out Musa on the right. He is just narrowly going to be offside. As he was clean through on goal, probably would have tucked that effort away. But fortunately, we've got another chance just a few minutes later. Lee spotting out Soleil. At this point in time, he's one of the world's best center midfielders, and I've learned that if you just shoot the ball with him, more times than not, it's going to be on target and lead to a goal. A great example of that here, as no goalkeeper would have saved that. The performance up to this point shows that we are one of the best teams in all of La Liga, and it's no fluke that we're challenging for the title. Musa trying to give us a 3rd goal, deciding to square that off to Lee. Again, it's the inconsistency coming into play. Luckily, that didn't seem to make a difference for this match, as we do manage to hang on to a clean sheet, picking up a 2-0 win and going top of the La Liga table with a few months left to go in our league campaign. Along with competing for the La Liga title, board objectives will still be a big focus for us, as our most difficult one is this brand exposure objective of maintaining a streak of 5 clean sheets in home matches this season. Not an easy task to do, whether you're playing the games or simulating them, but we currently have a streak of 3 as we get into this home fixture against Deportivo Alaves. Not exactly one of the best sides in La Liga. In fact, they may be struggling to keep their place in the league next season. We're going to go with some high tempo gameplay right from the start. Rakic providing a passing option on a few occasions here. Eventually it is Soler and Rojas who link up with some 1-2 passes. And again, with these first time shots from our box to box midfielder, I'm pretty sure you just toe poke this one, as his finishing is at an exceptional level, so even the higher shot error won't be infecting things too much. Rodrigo will also log some minutes in this match. His time as the starter has probably come to an end, but that doesn't mean he can't contribute some assists, as he nearly sets up Rojas here, and we can still rely on him as a veteran player if we're in need of a goal. But unfortunately, this is going to be a free kick call just outside of the box. Thought it might have been a penalty kick, as Ferro picks up a yellow card. On the ensuing free kick, you guys know it's going to end up in the back of the net. If there's one way that we're going to concede a goal, it had to be from a set piece. You do have to give a little bit of credit where it's due. It was a well-taken set piece effort. Maybe we should have jumped the wall, but they had a bit of tactics in play. Our streak of clean sheets at home may have come to an end, but that doesn't mean we can't push on and try to still win this match, as we initially lose hold of possession, but Rakic again getting in the way, winning us back the ball, and Rojas on his left foot is deadly. He will give us again our lead. Over the last few seasons, he hasn't been netting quite as many goals as he did initially. That doesn't mean he's not a big part of this team, as I don't think anyone can deny the impact he's had on us at Valencia. But we are forced into a substitution at this point, as Lee picks up another injury. He's had a lot of bad luck this season. Rucka, fortunately, is starting to recover from his own injury. Lee will be missing a month, putting a halt on his growth this season and maybe losing his place in the starting 11. We're closing in on the halftime break. One more chance for us as Rodrigo plays through Soler. He finds Rojas, and again, the outside of the foot shot on his left foot. He is a player in form, as he gives us a 2-goal advantage. A great goal and a big moment for us, as now we can change our tactics going into the next 45 minutes. Even if we want to hang on to some more possession, that doesn't mean our defense can't be as aggressive as they have been. Alvarez winning us back the ball. Soler nearly getting a 2nd goal in this one. Again, it's one of those toe pokes, this time falling just wide of the far post. But he'll pick up the ball again in the 55th minute, dribbling inside the box, spotting out the run from Marc Roca, and on his weak foot, and not even on full sharpness, he will give us a 4th goal. It sort of turned into a battle between Roca and Lee for the starting left center mid role, and I think right now Roca is winning that contest. There really was no shortage of highlights in this match. In the 60th minute, Rodrigo tries to show what he can still do for us at Valencia, forces a penalty kick. It won't make a difference on the result, but we may as well try to pad our goal differential. It may even play a role in where we finish at the end of the season. Soler back on the penalty kick stats, and he has yet to miss since we switched over to this new tactic. I just get the feeling that goalkeeper animations seem to be a little bit different, and while it keeps on working out for us, I figure we might as well keep doing what we're doing. 80th minute now, as this is going to showcase a little bit of suspect behavior from the computer. They're down by 4 goals, but they continue to hold on to the ball at the corner flag, even dribbling the ball out of play and losing hold of possession. Not sure what was going on there, but we push on with another highlight. In the 87th minute, Pedro Gonçalves trying to get on the score sheet. That wasn't meant to be, as finally a good save from the Deportivo Alaves keeper. I kind of felt bad for him because we had so many shots on target, but a huge display as our attack and defense seem to be firing on all cylinders. We just seem to be hitting form at the right time. We're starting to close in on the end of the La Liga season. The first match in April is against Real Madrid, as we have to travel away from home. Again, the fact that we're not competing in a whole lot of competitions outside of La Liga seems to play to our advantage, as we're able to field a fully rested team, whereas Real Madrid are likely competing in Champions League and they've got a lot of tired players. But as far as the table is concerned, there is a one-match separation between us and Atletico Madrid. Real Madrid also a lot to play for as they try to break into the top 4 and qualify for Champions League next season. Despite the fact that we're playing against a strong Real Madrid team, that didn't change our tactics. We tried to hang on to possession around the edge of the 18 as much as possible. Didn't work out initially, but I think if we continue to be patient with those chances, the goals will eventually come. As this is going to be a really nice sequence of passing play, setting up Rojas, has a defender right on his trail, and I think that did eventually impact his finish. This effort going just wide of the far post. Going into this match, Lee had fully recovered from his injuries, even exceeding Roca's rating at an 84 overall. But it's a hyperextended knee injury that'll bring an end to his season as we get into the second half. Once again, it's Rakic providing that passing option, playing a big role for our midfield. Musa, I really hope that he could have put that one away. Again, these efforts are going just inches wide of the mark. If we converted more of these chances, we would by far be in the lead. It's going to be a nervy last 25 minutes or so. Musa trying to redeem himself from the miss earlier in the match, getting by the Real Madrid defender and looking for the cross in the middle. He will find Rojas, but it's again blocked by Real Madrid. We pick up possession with Pedro Gonçalves, fights to win it back. It's Musa spotting out Rojas, has the option to maybe play that in the middle, decides to go solo. That didn't end up being the right decision, as it's going to be Courtois trying to distribute out of the back. Guy is not having any of it as we get the ball forward to Rojas, tricking the Real Madrid defender, and we get a little bit of fortune for Soler to get set up one-on-one. Again, it's this effort dragged just wide. 86th minute though, Pedro Gonçalves, he has been a hero and an incredible signing for us at Valencia this season. And it's another of our breakout players this season. Soler has instructions to get inside the box for crosses. That proved to be useful in this situation, as he finally gives us the 1-0 lead in what may be one of our biggest matches this season as we try to keep pace with Atletico Madrid. We'll be keeping an eye on results as well as the league table for our final 2 fixtures of La Liga. In order to take control of the top spot in La Liga, we need a lot to go our way. Not only do we need Atletico Madrid to lose both their matches, we need them to do so by a few goals as we try to recover from that goal differential. But this match against Almeria is a good chance to do so, as they are one of the newly promoted sides of La Liga. A side that typically invests a lot of funds into transfers. Robertone, a decent potential player at the center attacking mid position. But let's be honest, at this point in the save, this is a team that we should be able to deal with. We're going to start off these highlights with some quick passing play. That really is how we've performed all season, and Pedro Gonçalves adding another goal to his La Liga total, one of the better ones that he scored all season. And there is something about this player. He's just so quick on the ball, and as he continues to improve in the pace department, I think he is going to become the ultimate winger. Generally speaking, we have a very well-balanced Valencia team on our hands, as Marc Roca is going to get more used to being our starting left center mid. That was meant to be a shot, but it ended up being more of a pass to Rojas. A little bit of luck going on our side there as we double our lead. Rojas netting his 13th goal of the season. Almeria will try to answer back in the 65th minute. Kolasinac getting a couple of minutes, and he is unable to take the ball away. It is a good save from Jaume. He's had a lot of clean sheets so far during our league campaign, and that probably should have been a penalty kick looking at the replay. Despite a couple of hiccups here and there, I still think Kolasinac was a good free agent pickup a couple of seasons ago, as Almeria pull one back in the 67th minute. Kind of a weird goal to concede, because if we take a look at the replay, there were 2 of our defenders right around the ball. A fair play to the attacker as he wins the aerial challenge and gets that shot past Jaume. We need to be sure to shape up defensively. We can't afford to concede a goal in these last 15 minutes. There was something about these Almeria attackers. They did a really good job of shielding the ball away from our defenders. Jaume forced into another save there, as in the 84th minute, Rojas turning the defenders. A really good job to slot that one into the bottom left-hand corner and eliminating any fears of us dropping points in this match. So with one match left to play, we'll take a look at the league table and see whether we still have a chance of winning the title. By all accounts, we've had a very good league campaign. I would consider 90 points from 37 matches to be a pretty good display. However, Atletico Madrid were just a bit better, as they did win their last match, putting them on 96 points, and mathematically, they have secured the league title. We'll still showcase this fixture against Real Betis because we have something to play for in the league. I'm trying to finish in as high of a league position as possible. That way we can carry as much momentum forward into season 6 so that we can eventually lift some silverware for Valencia. Betis are one of those teams that sneakily have a pretty solid team in career mode. You wouldn't expect that looking at some of their players, but in recent transfer windows, they brought in players like Nabil Fekir, even having some high potential players like Emerson at the start. And we struggled to get the opening goal despite a number of chances. Good job by Gonzalez to skip by defenders, sends in that lofted pass, and Rojas on the volley will give us the goal in the 15th minute. That partnership between Gonzalez and Rojas is proving to be something special. With Musa, instructions get in behind is narrowly called offside. Soler dribbling the ball forward with confidence here, beating one defender, keying in on the run from Marc Roca. And again, these quick passes are just too much for the Real Betis defense to handle, as Musa will get his goal in the 26th minute. I don't know if I was playing FIFA exceptionally well on this particular day, or whether we've broken through with this Valencia team, as I have foreshadowed in some of the past episodes. If I had to guess, I'd probably go with the latter, because we had been very meticulous about some of our transfers, going at a good pace, and now we have built a team that I have full confidence in. That, of course, is going to make things very interesting for future installments of this career mode. Now that we are 3-0 up, I think it's pretty fair to say that we will be winning this match, so we might as well have a little bit of fun and score some more goals. Soler and Rojas with some quick passing play, and it's Soler who nets that to the far post, giving us another goal in the 49th minute. That wasn't the only moment that our center midfielder had a chance to get on the score sheet. This is a perfectly timed run and pass to give Soler another chance, and it nearly leads to a disastrous moment there for Betis, a goal line clearance by the goalkeeper. But this is Gonzalez cutting in on his preferred right foot, sliding it to the far corner, and I love this celebration from him, picking up the ball. He wants more goals. That's the mentality I want for every single one of our players in the starting 11. We will make a change with about 10 minutes left to go. Augustin being brought on for one of the few times this season in these gameplay fixtures. He's had a couple of alright moments for us at Valencia, as he is played through on goal. Most strikers should be finishing this opportunity. I think it's probably just the lack of minutes coming into play. But an overall good outing from the squad, as we will be finishing second in the La Liga table this season. All eyes set on season 6, as we've got a lot of new competitions to be competing in, as well as opportunities for redemption in La Liga and the Copa de España. But let's get into the end of season recap and cover a few logistics about the save. Despite a valiant effort, we came up just a little bit short of Atletico Madrid for the La Liga title. However, I think we've got a good chance of winning the title next season, as our players will continue to go up in their overall. And now that we've qualified for Champions League, I think we're going to be spending a lot in the upcoming transfer window. Kind of a down season for Real Madrid, as they didn't see qualification to Champions League, finishing 5th. And looking at the bottom half of the table, it's Eibar, Huesca, and Alaves that will see relegation to La Liga Smartbank, as Sporting and Mallorca will be seeing promotion. Zaragoza, Malaga, Leganés, and Las Palmas will be battling it out in the playoffs. One of them will join us as well. Recapping the top scorers, it's Soler from the midfield that netted 19 goals across 37 matches. Rojas still a good display, 18 goals from 42, and our new signing Gonzalez in his debut season netted 14 from 42. Rojas will lead the club in assists, 14 assists from 42 matches. Gonzalez second place, 9 assists from 42. And Lee, despite only featuring in 27 matches, still accumulated 8 assists. We're going to experience some double-digit growth for one of our youth academy players. Cristobal Exposito went from a 60 to a 71, a plus 11 in his rating. Tavares, a plus 6, going from a 67 to a 73. And Bird, again popping up in the top 3, a plus 5 from a 70 to a 75. João Felix finished as the top scorer in La Liga, 26 goals from 37 matches. We do have a couple of players in the top 15. Soler in 6th, 17 from 33. Rojas in 8, 16 from 38. And finally, Gonzalez, who finished in 13th with 13 from 38. Again, a lot of appearances in the assist category. Rojas finishing joint top with João Felix, 12 assists from 38 matches. 2 players both with 8 assists in Gonzalez and Lee. And then finally, we've got Soler in 12th with 7 assists from 33. Yami's consistency in La Liga has finally been rewarded. 20 clean sheets for him across 38 matches. and I think he's probably secured his spot as our starting goalkeeper. I've speculated about maybe signing another goalkeeper to get a boost to his rating, but even though he's aging, he just continues to grow. That does also mean we'll be picking out some new gloves. Unfortunately, there's no real golden gloves to put on Jaume that I think look good in game, so we'll be giving these ones instead. Recapping some of the other competitions, Atletico Madrid had a very successful season in Spain, not only winning the Liga title, but also the Copa de España with a 2-1 win over Barcelona. Everton started the season with a win against Real Madrid in the UEFA Super Cup. Borussia Dortmund won the Champions League final, taking away the treble from Atletico Madrid, and Napoli winning Europa League. I found this fixture to be really interesting because we actually have a player on loan at both clubs, Ivan Gonzalez at Napoli and Jaime Pajuelo at Spurs. Just a single Youth Academy promotion mid-season, Rafael Carrillo is a goalkeeper, 67 overall with a potential of 89 to 94. We'll send him out on loan as soon as possible, as we've got a lot of players available in our Youth Academy, some of which have a good amount of overall and potential. Only thing I'll say is that time is starting to run out on this save, so whether we'll be able to see them at that peak rating, still yet to be seen, but I figure I might as well still showcase them. But as we get into the general squad recap, I would say about half of the players that we've actually assigned to the first team are currently out on loan. That goes to show how young this Valencia team is and how much of a bright future we have. Season 5 could very well be the year that we start to win some competitions, maybe La Liga, maybe the Copa de España, and who knows, if we can pick up our form in Europe, Champions League is not out of sight as well. After a season where we've placed a huge focus on board objectives, we finally stabilized our manager rating at 73, achieving the youth development of featuring 2 Youth Academy players in 10 matches this season. Doing half of the brand exposure stuff, unfortunately, we couldn't hang on to the 5 clean sheets in home matches. We did hit the financial objective of finishing the season with a profit margin of 300 million. We probably could have spent more in the January transfer window. I just think it's so hard to gauge what profit will be come the end of the season. For domestic success, we also hit half of these objectives, finishing in a Champions League spot in the league, but unfortunately not winning the Copa de España, as Europa League, you guys already know we didn't win that competition. Big thanks to channel members for supporting what we do here on YouTube. If you are interested in learning more about that, you can either click the join button right underneath the video or the link that's in the description. You get access to a couple of emotes to use in the comment section, as well as chat for live streams. But we've actually got a lot of decisions to make in our squad. I think improvements to our defense is certainly somewhere that I'd like to focus on, but also at the right wing position. Musa had a pretty good season, but that rating is still a little bit low relative to the other players in our starting 11. We could bring in a new right winger entirely, but I think we've got a lot of possibilities for players that were loaned out this season. Starting with our homegrown talent, Rafael Carrillo. He's got the 5-star weak foot, so he can play on either wing. Doesn't have the best rating and potential anymore, but I think his stats in game are still very good. Jaime Pajuelo, David Silva's regen, has gone up a little bit this season. The only area of concern I have for him is that shooting is pretty low. On the ball, he's exceptional, but as a finisher, I don't think he's going to net a lot of goals. Realistically, I think our best option is Ivan Gonzalez. I was just talking about how he's on loan at Napoli, and he went up +5 in his overall. I think if we position change him to a winger, that could go up even further. Not only is he left-footed, he's also got 4-star skills and a 3-star weak foot. I'm also completely fine with updating the skill move and weak foot for these Youth Academy player promotions, courtesy of Dev Plans. So maybe you can leave your thoughts in the comments section as we look to push on with this Valencia Career Mode. If you did enjoy today's episode, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. But until next time, this has been Flick. I'll be talking to you all again soon.